This program contains content that may not be suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised.
Talents Limited never to Sakoa. Na konkona ina di dance mundabuli. Konkona, amana muwana yefuda tamulira. Together one live Toronto, Canada. Kuthate Gordon Mackay Road. And also second edition of Emperor Orlando Experience. Mainga kumina msamu kume bila mini mwetano. Gata tamude yeka. Adina Jeno Omega D. Okinga dollars in Sambu, VIP dollars in Chikome. What to tasende? Emiango sa kumina biringa jagundwa wanta. Osumulo kweza e-transfer ku emprolana@gmail.com. Okole booking izo na kuwa mkaga nyamusambu. Tano musambu 0. Emu 0. Awonga tuku watebo ewiyo. Tugenda kuwa kulukoba. Live band. Ne True North Reggae Band. Tosubaba DJ Wakabi. DJ Selector Tim Z. DJ Mandre. DJ Evos. Nabalala Banji. Abantu Escabro. Downtown. Richmond Hill, Mississauga, Durham, Shepherd, Finch, GTA, Toronto, USA, Greater Toronto, Paka, Ottawa, Gunomo, Guamwe, Saudi, Gulu, Binono, Bitega Kidwa, Orlando Events Talents Limited.
Boda teyamukoze niya boda yamukuba boda yamukona naye awonye ekintu yavuddeyo ku kitanda yesebo yama kyagala kugenda jakufuna wano pichi ngaliwo wa boda wanaliwa gumukozesa wano wologa yankubidde musango boda begendereza kyebakoze junior naye waliwo abajja right now erina abavuzi abegendereza esomerawo kati teekamu 4 points. 4 points. Ngena ku meeting a Swedish. Ino yayiseemu ddala najja. Kale. Tugende. Jalani kumena. Otwalanzi. Wacho obuze ekyo kibuuzo. Akantwale gwe faniwa. Ngenda. Kakati. Ngenda. Kantwale. Bana tujja kwatagana. Tuka maro kuyita mu wano. Maro kuba oluseke luno. Yes, kale tugende.
And then you have to depend on remittance. Nti abana balina ogende Saudi.
Baweereze sente wano.
Baweereze sente. Bagende Canada, bagende mu America, bavuge Uber. You should know what is going on in the US. The depression which is there. Me, I can take 5 days and I told you when you get in there. 5 days. I have not talked to anybody.
Like physically?
Like physically, until two games at the chai. Ila tumara kutoka wana tuweuka.
Wow.
But then that is, everyone here is thinking I'm going for green pastures. I'm about medication of depression. I take a Toraba. I give an example of an Uber driver. Let's say if you're making 240 a day, and then of course you have bills and everything. You have to work 12 hours to be able to save some money to invest. Kasuku, how many buildings in Kampala here? Maybe 1 or 2, 3 that are owned by Nkubache.
Barely.
So, yet Uganda, one of our big income is foreign remittance. Neto fireyo.
5 days.
That is one time a few months ago, I was in Los Angeles. I had a work visit in Los Angeles. All through I even wondered why I had gone to Los Angeles. Because I ended up working on Zoom. I stayed in that hotel for 5 days. The first Zoom is 7 to 9, 11 to 10, 2 to 5. In that room.
Inside there?
Yes. For 5 days.
Working from home. I saw Trump saying the business of working from home.
Why does he go for golf? Never Elon Musk. What he was for carpet in Gabanyumia. But no kujanjaba stress. Elon Musk at Newe Yasengo Kaya Sulawa Trump Marago. Carpet.
Basobola okubanga banyumya.
Ngono nze nonye simu abana bange bankowa. Kubanga nonya kusimu nenga makasuka aliwa. Kasuka oli otya. Tunyimedwa oyo n'amala ne mujjako.
N'okwata omulala.
Kati bala besimu yagaha.
Another 1 hour here.
Oyegera. Kati nayenga, why? But that is one of our biggest foreign earners. But we only have 3 or 4 now. You have foreign remittance. Build agriculture, right? Build other sectors. So that abana banogenda babere. Ate kati, you're driving Uber. When you get to the age of, you drive Uber 2-3 years, omugongo. Watu chasobola kuvuga 12 hours. Negufa. Neno rudisa ku 8. Newesanga in Uganda, there's nothing much you have done. Ene nyimba za pangisa oyinayo akaimba konsulamu neka business keba kubiramu oshegera oswala okoma nogamba why and yet that is one of our big income as a nation. That is very sad.
It's terrible. We you know, most times betuba tukyaziza abantu kasuko live okwogera especially kubiri ebweru eyo abantu banyumya but ango yo tugamba nti ate sente ziveeri ne zijjemu.
It is one of
Uganda's
biggest income earners.
Ngate abaana wama
mbadde kunonyeza figure wano kandabe wanajifunye foreign remittance. Njaji kufulira. I'll text you later. I send you. It's one of our big income earners.
Maybe that explains why government really doesn't mind when children are going out. Because every day when you go to the airport, at least you'll meet 100 people. Clad in those uniforms of the agencies going out.
Because most of them go on visiting visa. Me, I went on work visa. Visiting visa is very tricky. Because you have 6 months as a visitor. If you exceed that time, you can jeopardize the conditions of your visa. So within the 6 months, they're going to work illegally. I mean, you can submit for asylum and then get a work permit. But I mean, they don't have to go through all that. Of course, work visa takes a lot. You have to get the employment and then get the lawyer and then get a job and then go on to the interview. I'm going to work, and then the fees, of course, are higher. So, okay, whatever you're not going to end up with a wedding, I'm going to a conference, about 6 months, not at that.
Ensonga z'ettaka ensangi zino zafuuka nzibu okwewala katembo yo yenna. Duka mu Honest Estate Developers ofune ettaka eritaliiko ndooliito. Baguddewo estate zaabwe empya omuli Gayaza Kiwenda Phase 5, Mabombwe Phase 6 ne 7 ne Gobero Nampunge. Songa ne mu estate zaabwe enkadde poloti esigaddeyo ntono ddala. Hoima Road, Nganansa na Bujuuko, Namusera Bugembe, Namusera Phase 3, Kachiri Mwera, Kachiri Magogo, Gobero Muguruka Phase 1 and 2, Wakiso Kasengejje ne Kachiri Simba Mannyo. Ku Lwentebe balina Nakawuka 0 Phase 4 ne Sisalutaba Expressway ate Namugongo Sonde ne Namugongo Misindye. Amazzi n'amasanyalaze weegali bw'ogula kyapa ku mmeeza tuzimba n'okutunda amayumba agawedde. Honest Estate Developers tusange ku Martin Road mu Kampala okumpi ne roundabout ya Aga Khan ku Mankeshwa Building. Isimu noti 772 57 28 73 oba noti 7 57 28 73.
Weetegeka okukoleza okumanyako okwefumiitiriza n'okwagala nga tutongoza ekitabo Abaganda Abasukkulumu mu myaka 2024 ekyawandiikibwa Muzeeyi Magala ow'Ebunyaaka. Ekitabo ekijjudde ebyafaayo obuvo n'obuddo bwa Buganda n'abasajja enjasabiggo ekitongozebwa ng'ennaku z'omwezi 9 omwezi ogwokutaano 2025 awo ku Theatre Bonita. Jangu osisinkane Muzeeyi Magala ng'awerekeddwako Misa Kisemakula, Princess Amira, Bizonto Comedy, Mary Hart Stumbetu, Kazibwe Kapo, Hasani Nduga n'abalala bangi. Kati jangu ofune kopiyo ogulira okumanyako ng'ennaku z'omwezi 9 omwezi ogwokutaano 2025 awo ku Theatre Bonita okuyingira $5,000 ordinary, VIP $10,000, VVIP table ya $2,000,000 nga tutongoza Abaganda Abasukkulumu mu myaka 2024 ekyawandiikibwa Muzeeyi Magala.
Aliya Luzungu kade kazuku tujikole sawa namba Luzungu.
Luzungu tugenda muza
kujjerera kutoka ndi mbuzi ndi hapo.
sizaalisa mukazi kati ndi muto gwasasula ewange abakyala abo boolaba babbi abakyala
weereza omuliro mbalina embuto katonda yekyembuto genda weegiwaaminge
yabaweereza buno bukeeke obutini
singa baabumutwale bamumusonseka mu kamwa bwonna n'abufulumiza mu nnyindo
kibwa alina guno omuggo gwa musa wayitista premium detergent
waliwo wanagambye embunda y'akasajja kasendi kalimba bannange esendi bannange. Yet another edition of Kasuku Live, and olunaku olwaleero we are going to be talking presidential. Yes, we are going to be talking presidential, presidents, and everything that comes with it. Yeah. I'm joined by my brother.
Yes.
I don't know why somehow my head is stuck with the name Aaron.
Aaron.
Yes.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Never. Nayenga Aaron is a good name.
Yes.
He was a priest, yeah.
He was a priest.
In the Bible.
In the Bible.
Bible?
Yes, I do. I used to.
What happened?
I've taken long without reading it.
Why is that?
The hassle.
God has blessed you. You must remember God.
I do.
Why you're not going to church na no saba no yebaza katonda. Anzije wala antoseza wala. Nse wachini?
Yes.
Yeah.
So kati nkwanjule ntyanga
nga omuntu w'abantu owansi.
Nedda toli muntu wa wansi.
Nedda yesterday badde nkugamba we did a borehole in Buyende.
Yes.
Just we didn't have time to put up, but you can put up later that information. And we had about 6,000 to 7,000 people in that crowd. And when I talked to them, they identified with me. I ate with them their chicken, ate their rice with them, you know. Talked to each of them. And by the time we left, they gave me a list. Ngabunaba subis anti bagenda kunonda. Ate abasinga baagala nnyo nupu. They love nupu very much. Nze nabagambye nti oludde nupu erina obululu bungi. Bampeeko obutono obwo. Si bwe kiri?
Mukiri.
Yes. So kyekyo.
No, kati waliwo badde ngamba you identify as a man of God, pastor, prophet, apostle. You identify as who?
As a servant of the people.
Servant of the people.
Yes. I'm a people servant. I serve people. God is about people. See what you mean?
Yes.
Ministry is about people. The people I interact with, Muslims, Catholics. Yeah, you go to Mokaga there at our stage. It's not about your belief system or what you identify. Yeah, but it's about people. God is about people. Yeah. So I'm a servant of the people.
So no. Okay. What I was trying to say, like, if you're introducing yourself,
yes,
like I would say, okay, you introduce yourself to our.
I am Biamukama Henry. Yes, and I am a pastor by what I do. Exactly. I also do business. Okay. I am also a few other things. Yeah.
That is what I wanted.
Okay.
You identify as a pastor.
You wanted a profile.
Yeah. No. The title. Because there are some people who say, like, Kadingabola Maji.
Yeah.
Lieutenant, General, tayagala omuyite a rank below.
Yes.
In
a military setting, but
yes.
in
So there are some people I've met who say, I'm the prophet. Why are you calling me pastor?
Yeah. So you have different settings. A military setting, they give you the baptism. In the society setting, the way it is structured, people baptize you. For you, people baptize you as a blogger. But maybe you are something else. Maybe you're a journalist. Maybe you are a doctor somewhere.
Exactly.
So people baptize you. Yeah.
Kali, welcome to Kasuko Live.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming. We've had a discussion since last year.
You've been avoiding me, but I didn't take it personal.
No, I've not been avoiding you.
I just prayed for you.
You've been a busy man.
Not really. I don't like to give busy as an excuse. We have to make time.
Yeah, but there are times when you try to make time.
Yeah.
Okay, you can make time.
Yeah.
And the time you make, the person you're trying to make the time for,
Yeah.
does not also have the time at the time.
Yeah, the synchrony.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that makes you busy.
Yeah.
Because when the time is there and on my side and it's not there on your side,
Yeah.
But
however, we should be available for ourselves.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, we can always synchronize the timings. We can even meet at midnight, 2 a.m.
Surely, yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yes, Ugandans don't know that meetings can happen at 2 a.m.
I do sometimes.
There's some time during the previous election period.
Yeah.
I got a call from someone.
Yeah.
And he told me I need to meet you at 4.
Yes.
And this person was calling me at 9.
Right.
Like I had a very long day. I'm in my bed.
Yeah.
He told me I need to meet you at 4 in the morning.
Yes.
It is the only time I have to meet you.
Yes. That's why it is tricky for 9 to 5 workers. Because when you have the 9 to 5 mindset, which is good because most of them, they build professionalism, but 9 to 5 working don't understand hustle. I have friends who lose the 9 to 5 jobs, and by the time they adjust into the system of doing something of your own, it takes a long time.
Yeah, it does. So, tuli wano ku BTM
Yes.
Studios, Tobani
Center.
Center.
Yeah, second floor.
Second floor.
Yeah.
And I was having a discussion with Pastor Henry, and he was telling me earlier on the phone,
Yeah.
Black Sugar wagenda n'osabuka n'ebigambo.
Yeah.
N'ogamba nti omusajja studio yazijjawo.
Yeah.
N'azizza ku charge. Studio ziri wano bakutwala mu kooti.
Yeah.
Era nze ndi wano nze ngamba mumuleke.
Yeah.
So but then we are here.
Yeah. I think the issue is Uganda need to understand, especially journalism. You know what is called misinformation? Have you followed the show called The View?
Yes.
They have been sued how many times? I think 3 times. And they have paid heavily. And they have lost ratings and probably are going off air. Misinformation is very dangerous. I think that either it is a childish mindset or insensitive. I don't understand. But if I go on air, when I am a journalist or whatever I am, and I'm influential, and I do also things that jeopardize someone's business, and they end up losing clients or getting a different reputation, it's a disservice to journalism.
Yeah.
It is. So everyone knows how the hustle is in Uganda. If you go on media like yours, which is respected and has a platform, and you bring down someone's business, it's uncalled for.
Yeah.
It is. So that was my issue. Yeah, that was my issue.
And at least, the first thing that struck me when you told me, I think we can do here.
Yes.
I was like, well, it gives me that now I can see the studio is there.
Yes.
And the TV is on air.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the TV is showing the conclave. And I'm like, okay, wow.
So you understand, you see how dangerous that misinformation was. That is very dangerous. Especially I have a lot of my clients who call me and say, how come you took away the equipment without telling us? Neda, you're not what? You are not honest with us. So I think the young generation who are trying to do something, they need to understand the dangers of misinformation, misrepresentation, defamation. Yes, I understand the scramble for likes and views. It is understandable, but you can do that without. I can do that without having to defame you.
I understand.
Yeah.
There's something I want to ask you before we move into the presidential ambitions and everything.
Yes.
Now that I have a chance to talk to you.
Yes.
How is the media landscape here? The
media
TV.
landscape?
Is it still viable?
You have to evolve. You have to evolve. As you know that I live in California, yeah? And I've followed trends like Newsmax and CNN and Fox News. Media has evolved. Media has evolved, especially with the coming in of social media. Now, media is evolving every day. Not just gadgets, but especially information. Yeah, people pay for information. Yeah, so on this, media is all about disseminating information. Of course, in terms of entertainment, you are not going to compete with Hollywood. The investment is huge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. The other thing about media is about the investment. Because the biggest competitor for corporate media or mainstream media is social media.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to compete with you, I have to invest. I have to occupy that space. I have to invest in the studios, in the cameras, in the journalists, pay them well, and occupy that space so that I pull the people towards me. So it comes down back to investment. Yeah.
But then, is there a return on investment in the market right now?
Every time you have quality for any business, every time you have quality, every time you have information. For example, if I have a very competitive current affairs, I'm going to get advertisement from Parliament. Normally they give, I think it's 2.5 annually. I'm going to get money from ICT. I'm going to get from Electoral Commission. If I have a competitive current affairs, and then I can pitch, and then I can get that money. So again, it comes back to investment. You invest in quality, both the human resource, the manpower, the gadgets, the studios, and of course, navigating together.
Yeah.
So it comes back to investment.
So we just have to invest more.
Yes.
Then we get.
Yes. It takes you a lot of effort and time to produce content.
It does.
You have to be there every day. Now, if I want competitive content, I have to spend. I have to spend on the best, not misinformers like your daughter. Now, your daughter, it'll be very difficult for anybody to give a platform because of that level of misinformation and the vulgarity, yeah, and manquadity. Yeah, that becomes very difficult for any sensible person to invest in that kind of content. Yeah, in the long, if you look at the long haul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, media, the space is becoming tougher.
Also, what we need to look at is not just, because in Uganda you have a market of, say, 45, 50 million people. That is our market. But not just that, you have to you strategize it.
Strategize.
Not strategize, stratification.
Yeah, so sorry. Yeah,
so stratification, you have the youth.
Yeah.
You have maybe abakadde.
Nabato.
And then also the media through which they access that information, the phone, the laptop, the whatever, right? So when you do that stratification, 45 million people, you're stratifying. So your market narrows down. But now, media is beyond borders. So you look and say, okay, East Africa has a market of how many? 400, 500, I don't know, million people. Stratify and say, now my target is East Africa, Africa, and the world. So after I have that stratification, that target, then I need the quality content. Now for me, it's very hard for me to follow. The things I watch, I'm very selective. I get very pissed off with misinformation because I followed the American campaign from 2016. I saw how dangerous misinformation can be. Yeah, it can totally change someone's image on a very false premise. So my choice, and not only me, my choice of what I listen to is determined by a few factors. So there are people who are in my category, right?
Yeah.
So and those people who are in my category are the people who are possible investors. Then you can come and say, Kasuku, I like what you're doing. For me personally, I like what you're doing. And if I was a venture capitalist and you did a pitch deck to me, absolutely, I would invest, because you just need a little tweak to get billions investment.
Yeah.
Gwechewetaaga kitono nnyo to get a big picture okuteekamu. So we need to understand those kind of approaches and look at the abateekamu sente abasinga Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Pastor Henry has had, we've been talking on WhatsApp over time, and he told me he wants to come and stand
Yes.
for the presidency of
Yeah.
Uganda.
Yes. Yes.
Well, from what you say, you sometimes stay in California.
Yes. Yes.
You have a TV station.
Yes.
Things seem to be going on well for you. Why could you want to challenge for the presidency and everything that comes with wanting the presidency?
2 words, or 3 or 4. I'll summarize. Number 1, ideals and ideologies. So, first of all, as a Ugandan, constitutionally, you have a duty to uphold and defend the constitution. Every Ugandan. So just from that front already, I think that's the reason enough to pursue this kind of vision.
Okay, well, but then someone could say, well, you just got happy, you just want to challenge because the constitution allows you.
It doesn't allow you. It's your duty as a citizen. It's a duty.
Yeah, but there has to be a cause. People have come up to tell us there's bad governance.
That's why I told you, number 1. So number 1, from the front of duty, yeah, as a Ugandan, I feel duty bound to defend the constitution of Uganda. That's number 1. Of course, number 2, you have issues like Uganda is a country that, what you'd call it, unrealized potential. Until we have a lot of potential, which is unrealized. So we feel that we can put that gap right. Yeah.
Unrealized potential.
Yes.
If you would break it down for me.
So what are the main sources of revenue for Uganda in the last few years? Number 1 has been coffee, right? Number 2 has been, I think, tourism. And then recently you had gold. Though I don't know where that gold came from that made us that brought that all forex.
There's much going on in Mubende there.
Okay, and enough to bring in all that money.
Yeah, I've been there, and I have a feeling maybe a lot is not being declared. Yeah, because people are working day and night.
Okay,
down there.
So there's unrealized potential. But there's something else that I think about, that also I think Ugandans would think about. If you notice, as much as we have, okay, I don't like to call it politics, but you realize that there is a lack of trust in the leadership at every level. Ugandans don't trust leadership. You don't trust. That is why when you want a deal, the thing you are thinking is normally a centemaker, because you're not sure if you can get what you want by merit. Can you?
I don't know.
Can you get what you want? Okay. Oyagala kalango ka ICT. Can you get it by merit? Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, me I could.
By merit?
Because that is Kasuko. And
Is
yes,
that
he
merit?
has the following. Yes. But of course, there are those.
But the kalango is not because of that. Those are not the factors.
No, they give you the ad because, well, they believe you have the numbers that they need to talk to.
No, it's more than the numbers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the content. Is it in sync with what they're driving? Yeah. So, trust in leadership, what they call a meritocracy. In your thinking, is Uganda a meritocracy? Is it possible, all factors constant, for you to go through the ladder on merit?
No.
So we need to restore what?
Because even when you go to the hospital, you're going to pay someone, but you need to first give someone something
to jump
so that you jump the queue. And
even in the bank.
Even in the bank, yes.
I enter the bank, when I'm at the door, they do like this. Then I say, why don't I just queue? I came to the bank, I'm ready to queue. They say, no, I don't need to queue. So I think you said why. One of the reasons is we need to restore trust in leadership. That's important.
We don't trust our leaders.
We don't.
The system.
You can do a simple survey on Kasoko Live. You say, how many of you believe that you can go through the ladder by merit and achieve your vision, your goals? You see.
That you enter an organization as a salesperson.
Yes, and then
you go through the ranks and now you're a sales manager.
Yes.
Or you're the CEO of the company.
Yes. Techisoboka.
Huh?
Eh? Because I don't trust you. Yeah. So we need to rebuild trust in what? In leadership.
System.
Yeah, in leaders. Yeah.
So that was 2.
That was 2.
Number 3.
So you want how many?
You told me there are like 4.
There are 4 or 5. So the other thing is, I don't believe in the word politics. Neither am I involved in politics. I'm not your career-driven politician. So I'm not a politician. Because I believe that leadership is about 2 things. And I've had this belief for a long time. Just like I don't believe in making money. I don't believe that if you go out to make money, then you make money. I believe that you do the right thing and then money follows. Yeah. So that is ideally, that's how I believe. So, also, ideally, I believe that what you call politics is actually 2 things, simply. Resource distribution and decision making. Only 2 things. Now, if you analyze those 2, I told you I just came back from Wiende. And I mean, a radius of 10 miles, I didn't see any school. There was no roads. Now that comes to a problem of resource distribution. The other issue is I believe that my leadership, everywhere I have been, has been driven by 2 things, heart and head. Heart and head. So if you are to distribute resources, taxpayers' resources, or whatever way that you're collecting that money, if you have just head, you're not going to be able to rebuild a country like Uganda. It has to be heart and head.
Does Uganda need a rebuild?
Does Uganda need a rebuild? So then you have to come back to foundations. I'll give an example. Technology. So you cannot develop a country right in this age without technology. So what do you need to build in technology? Technology has foundations that have to be built, about 6. Number 1, foundation of technology is, of course, internet everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a foundation. So I ask you again, do you need to build internet everywhere?
Yes.
So that answers you, right? Second foundation is semiconductor infrastructure. You know what that is? You know it, right?
Yes, I do.
So you cannot, you won't be able to put our technology working together without those foundations. 5 or 6. Yeah? Semiconductors, internet, gadgets. Right now, if you have to buy an Android phone, you're going to spend in the range of $100 plus, right? To get an Android phone, for you to be able to go to Facebook, to Twitter, to communicate, to get business, to do what, in the range of 100. So there should be a provision. One thing we have done about our app, talk about the app, is we're trying to subsidize Android phones. We've just finished the manufacturing of 10,000 Android phones. Yes. So overall goal is to be able to distribute subsidized all over the country. So you have about 5 technology foundations. And I'm working with the Ministry of ICT to try to things like a data center. Now, the data center we have from, I think, Zerabyte, I can't remember, which could have had the capacity to hold our information, could not be turned on.
Oh.
Yes. Reason being, power. AI requires power. Now we need AI data centers. It requires the proportionate power to drive those kind of facilities. So, to answer your question, does Uganda need a rebuild? I've just given you one example of technology. The young generation who normally are the fulcrum of a society require to be empowered. You're not going to you're not going to empower them by talking. Everybody is on the phone. Give them the foundations. Let the infrastructure be work. So you have the semiconductors, you have the artificial intelligence and the internet, you have the blockchain.
The infrastructure.
Yes, you have the blockchain, which is going to be very important for storage of documents. Yeah. So I've answered your question.
Yes,
right?
you have.
Yes.
So, but when you come out to say you want to stand,
yes,
with everything you have around, ain't you scared?
When you're going to do anything in the pursuit of life, if you have not yet overcome fear, then you don't qualify. If you go into a marriage and you're afraid that oh no muwala nyinza obutamalako naye, you have already failed. Yeah. Anything you enter,
You're not sure.
You don't qualify. Yeah, you don't qualify. So the first thing we need to get rid of is fear. Yeah.
So you're determined, you're ready.
It's not about determination. It's an ideal. An ideal, an ideology is more than doing. Yeah, it's kind of a response to things that you uphold so dearly. Yeah, it's a response.
So this whole presidency, the way you want it, is it your idea? Because we've had before people come to stand.
I think the problem that I think the problem that we are having right now in our communication is presidency, an office, or no, it's more than that. We're not talking about that. We are talking about Uganda. Yes, we're talking about Uganda. How does Uganda move on from what has been
to what should be?
Yes, to what it can be.
Anyway, we've been under the office for so long.
Yeah.
Every time we talk about the presidency, we talk about the office.
I want to give you a few statistics.
Okay.
Do you know the value of Google?
Of?
Google.
No.
As an organization?
No.
Okay, I don't know what it is, maybe in the range of 500 billion or something. Do you have an idea of what the gross domestic product of Uganda is? Could be in the range of 50 billion.
Wow.
Gross national product could be 1 billion more. Gross national product means that inclusive of the money of abali ebweru zebakola ki
zebaweereza
plus bana abali wano abava ebweru zebakola ki zebafulumya ne tukola ekibalo then it gives us a national product. So if Google is in the value in the range of beyond 500 billion and Uganda, our GDP of the whole year is 50 billion, chikulaga wetuli into just one organization
in the US is times 10, not 10 actually. Yeah, times 10.
But you're a nation with sovereignty. So that's why I'm saying it is more than an office. Yes.
And I think that really
that just gives you a small picture. I want to give you another stat. Yeah. Which one should I give you? I was doing some. So, national unemployment rate 9.2%.
Uganda here.
Yeah.
Wow. That's high.
Very, very high. Kati, let me show you also absorption rate. Kitegeeza nti omaze okusoma
abafuna emirimu.
Yes, absorption rate. So we absorb between 600,000 new jobs per year. Okay?
Against how many graduates?
Okay. 1 million youth enter the job market annually.
Wow. Qualified?
Yes.
Wow.
And yet those who are absorbed are absorbed into the informal sector. Until you graduated as a journalist,
You
but
need to
you
go
are
to
a
UBC.
border rider.
Also, that's the job you're talking about.
That is the disparity, the dysfunctionality.
You've graduated.
Yes.
You don't come to BTM.
Yes.
You go,
qualify.
you become a broker.
Yes. Of land.
Of land.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying it is more than an office.
An office, yeah.
Yes.
I think from what you've said, what I've loved about your discussion, and I think now it gives us the big outlook. You know, we've been in the business of the office,
yes,
for over 30 years.
Yes.
It's after the current regime
the
came
9 to
through.
5, yes.
It ceased being about around after 2001.
Yes.
It was now no longer about the country.
Yes.
It was about the office.
Right.
Even the politicians that have since come through.
Yes.
Everybody talks about the presidency.
Right.
We want to be president.
Yes.
But the bigger picture of Uganda then falls under the statement.
Yes.
Instead of saying Uganda,
yes,
then the presidency.
That's why our campaign is Uganda first.
Oh.
Yes, that's our campaign. It is Uganda first. So a friend of mine asked me, I did a podcast in the US, and he asked me, so you live in the US here, what is your foreign policy? I think for me that is very, very easy. Because, Kasuku, one thing I try to avoid is to debate or to answer inconsequentials. Inconsequentials. You know what those are?
In Uganda, we say ebitagatta.
Yeah. Why do I have to talk about what Uganda thinks about the Palestinian war? Ugandans are hungry. My foreign policy is very simple. Uganda first. Omukwano gwa Uganda yabera mukwano gwaffe.
So if Palestine is our friend,
if he's going to give us roads and hospitals, tujja kwogera naye. It has to be Uganda what? First. Yes.
So, because I was going to ask you, what is the agenda for you? So now I get the answer.
Yes.
Uganda first.
It's Uganda first.
So for whatever we do,
it's Uganda first.
We put Uganda first.
If that culminates into the office, because already, like I told you, we are not going to do, we are doing already. Kasuku, people don't know me, right? Many underestimate me, but I think I'm very well able to drive this country to the next level. Just the few deals I've been able to negotiate for this country. By the way, I am involved also in trying to remove the blockage of Facebook. We've been talking Facebook. And I hosted the Ministry of ICT in California. There was a team. I took them to manufacturers of computers, the supercomputers, Supermicro. We also visited some guys who build robots that can operate in 5 minutes. We also visited a naval base, some other base that does research in quantum physics. Yes, quantum physics.
Quantum physics, that's tight.
Yes, so why was I doing all this? Because, and also we are starting something that is called the Uganda California Tech Forum. Get the best brains from the Bay Area, the Silicon Valley, to engage with the brains in Uganda about the future of technology. Kid is a gun. You know, there's a question I want you to answer me. I know you are interviewing me, but nyagala onziremu. Nyagala onziremu. Kino kintu kibadde kinsumbuwa. Kulwaki countries like US and China and other countries tell us to industrialize, like America, to gamba industrialize. Now, for them, they are sending their industries to Vietnam and Myanmar.
Their industries?
Yes. Why?
Now, why would the US? Anyway, I think the sharper brains are that side.
I will give you an answer what I think. I may be wrong. Why are they investing in AI and data? Because you here right now, Kasuku, you are on TikTok, on Facebook. Where are the servers?
In the US and China.
Answers your question. That if I have 100 million people on my platform, I mean, data is everything.
Yeah.
Whereas if I have a factory that is producing iron sheets I need to employ 2,000 workers. Labor
Actually,
intensive.
someone told me data is the new wealth.
It's amazing.
The new oil.
It's amazing.
And I've seen that is true.
I'm just giving you
testimony to all of this.
I'm giving you a snippet.
I think one of the problems we have in this country goes back to our leaders. They've not yet realized how much potential is in the data. When people talk about AI, people are just talking about AI.
Now let me give you a little bit of another data. So now our agenda is Uganda first.
Yes.
It's good to remove a dictator, right? There has to be succession, not just in the presidency. There has to be succession, right? But which is a good thing. But for us, we are saying Uganda first. Now, I want to give you a little data on the top three in the last 5 years, foreign earners. I want to show you why there is still more room for Uganda to develop. So number one, you have coffee. Number two, you had gold. Yeah. Number three, you have pre-COVID, you had tourism, which brought in 1.6 billion.
Oh.
Yeah. So those are only three. You have not yet dealt with issues like, and then you have to depend on remittance. Nti abana balina ogende Saudi.
Baweereze sente wano.
Baweereze sente. Bagende Canada, bagende mu America, bavuge Uber. You should know what is going on in the US. The depression which is there. Me, I can take 5 days and I told you when you get in there. 5 days. I have not talked to anybody.
Like physically? Like
physically until 2 games at the chai. Ila tumara kutoka na tuweuka.
Wow.
But then that is everyone here is thinking I'm going for green pastures. I'm about medication of depression. I take Katolava. I give an example of an Uber driver. Let's say if you are making 240 a day, and then of course you have bills and everything. You have to work 12 hours to be able to save some money to invest. Kasuku, how many buildings in Kampala here? Maybe 1 or 2, 3 that are owned by Nkubache.
Barely.
So, yet Uganda, one of our big income is foreign remittance. Netufireyo.
5 days.
That is one time a few months ago, I was in Los Angeles. I had a work visit in Los Angeles. All through I even wondered why I had gone to Los Angeles. Because I ended up working on Zoom. I stayed in that hotel for 5 days. The first Zoom is 7 to 9, 11 to 10, 2 to 5. In that room.
Inside there?
Yes. For 5 days.
Working from home. I saw Trump saying the business of working from home.
Why does he go for golf? Never Elon Musk. What he was for carpet in Gabanyumia. But no kujanja stress. Elon Musk at newe ya sengu kaya sura wa Trump malago. Carpet.
Basoro kubanga banyumia.
Ngono nze nonye simu abana bange bankowa. Kubanga nonya kusemnenga makasuka aliwa. Kasuka oliotya. Tunyimendwa we nama ne mujjako.
No kwato omulala.
Kalibala besimi agaha.
Another 1 hour here.
Katenayenga, why? But that is one of our biggest foreign earners. But we only have 3 or 4. Now you have foreign remittance. Build agriculture, right? Build other sectors. So that abana banogenda baberimu. Hatekati, you're driving Uber. When you get to the age of, you drive Uber 2-3 years, omugongo. Watu chasobola kuvuga 12 hours. Negufa. Neno rudisa ku 8. Nawesanga in Uganda, there's nothing much you have done. Ene nyimba za pangisa oyinayo akaimba konsulamu neka business keba kubiramu. Oshegera oswala okoma. Nogamba why? And yet that is one of our big income as a nation. That is very sad.
It's terrible. We you know, most times betuba tukyaziza abantu Kasuku live okwogera especially ku biri ebweru eyo abantu banyumya but ango yo tugamba nti ate sente ziveeri ne zijjeemu.
It is one of
Ugandans
biggest income earners.
Ng'ate abaana wama
mbadde kunoonyeza figure wano kandabe wana agifunye foreign remittance nja gikufunira. I'll text you later. I send you. Is one of our big income earners.
Maybe that explains why government really doesn't mind when children are going out. Because every day when you go to the airport, at least you'll meet 100 people clad in those uniforms of the agencies going out.
Because most of them go on visiting visa. Me, I went on work visa. Visiting visa is very tricky because you have 6 months as a visitor. If you exceed that time, you can jeopardize the conditions of your visa. So within the 6 months, they're going to work illegally. I mean, you can submit for asylum and then get a work permit. But I mean, they don't have to go through all that. Of course, work visa takes a lot. You have to get the employment and then get the lawyer and then get a job and then go on to the interview. I'm going to work, and then the fees, of course, are higher. So, okay, whatever you're not going to wedding, I'm going to a conference, about 6 months, not at that.
With them B2C 25 cargo eba tusako B2C soldiers ku Friday nga mwenda May ku Hotel Africana mu Kampala. Ordinary mtwale VIP mtwale 5 emeza ya milioni 3 celebrating 10 years of B2C kurune sibyanzibu igene futu endongo yonna hit ku hit walai mujja kuchulira nga 10 May bali jinya mu street jam 11 kayunga katikomu 12 May kaliro resort na 16 Mbarara University Inn na 17 May Sport Highway Kalisizo 18 Nana Gardens Rukaya wonna shinzo mtwalo gumu.
Tickets zitundibwa ku B2C Restaurant ku Salama Road, Papa Sport e Machindye, Jord Color Solutions ne ku Hotel Africana.
Musaleko Hotel Africana nga bukyalaba. System gutabiza kutabo twagalako ebyana be Cafe Neighbors. Chekuwa Crazy Company ogenda okudawa kanga tolina yadde ekikumi yahe biwagidwa. Right now up Newman's abakolera obumpwakimpwaki Skypins Tours and Travel abakolera ku visa ne ticket Sukuma Portable Spirits Oro Mukaya Events n'ebisetting bunya.
He's a doctor here at the clinic, earning 2-3 million a month. Where do you go? And you tell people and they say,
then they get there.
And then they get there. And you should even see how people live. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So basically what Pastor Henry is saying is Uganda first.
Yes.
Bewa abasobola okusooka ne batereeza embeera wano. Ne twesanga Omunnayuganda tolina ate genda ku kyeyo. Oboneebonereyo emyaka gikugendeko okomewo wano ng'ozimbye kayumba na buyumba bw'abapangisa. Era obutaasobole kukubeezaawo ng'okomyewo wano comfortable. Kati ye ebimu ku bimuli. Ate ng'okomyewo omugongo tokyayina. Maaso tegalaba. So n'agamba ye ayagala okwesimbawo kuba president byayagala otunuulira Uganda eyaffe ffenna ng'ekola kuyamba ffe ffenna nti bwe tudda mu tekinologi n'akola kuba obusobozi tubuyina okubeera nti ffe ffennyini nnyini gwali eyo gwa subscribinga ku Kasuku live. Kasuku live n'afuna ate n'agaba emirimu emirala ng'emeka nga 2. Kati netuloka tukulaba nga tuli naawe wano tolina kugamba nti ate ogende ku kyeyo embeera ekutabukireko awo. But Omunnayuganda anaabiwulira.
Building takes time.
Anaabiwulira akwokya akalulu.
Yes, bajja kumpa mbadde. I told you mbadde buyende. Now my strategy is I'm going to meet 2 million people one-on-one. My strategy is very simple. I don't believe in rallies. Rallies communicate but to a certain level, right? And I'm going to reach people like I've been doing in Buyende. I met over 5,000 people one-on-one. I told you where the guy said, I said, that's okay. I believe in NOP. I like most of the things they do, right? Nemugamba naye muliro obululu bungi nagamba akati ngenda kakuwa. Because there was some interpersonal what?
Yeah. After you talk to them one on
yes.
one.
So my strategy is very simple. I'm going to go one on one. I want to meet about 2 million people one on one. Even if a quarter of those give me the vote, that'll be okay. Secondly, I'm going to do symposiums in the colleges. So I'm going to do colleges, all the colleges in Uganda. I'm going to do symposiums to debate on the structure of our economy. Very simple. I think every Ugandan has the ability to internalize, conceptualize, and deliberate on the structure of Uganda's economy. You can easily understand how the agriculture is, the informal sector is, the absorption rate and unemployment rate. Every Ugandan can understand. So when we create platforms for that discussion, that's going to be helpful. So one-on-one, I'm going to do symposiums. And then, of course, I'm going to do social media. And then for the rural people in the ground, where I'm going so much, where I'm involved, we are going to do boreholes. We just brought in a machine, a water drilling machine. We can drill on our own. Yeah, and we're working on a drilling permit with the government to do that, so that we can partner with the government to give water to the rural areas.
To the rural areas.
Yes, we've been doing that already.
Well,
yeah.
It's nice hearing from you.
Yes.
It's a discussion I think we need to continue having.
Yes.
I'm one of the firm believers that politics should not just be about, come, and it should not
But
just
I told
be...
you I don't like that word politics.
Okay. Whatever you want to call it.
Let's use 2 words.
Yes.
How do we be in a position to distribute resources and make decisions?
So, I'm a person who believes that decision making
and
resource distribution should
very
not be about positions.
Yes. But if you don't have a position, you can't make that decision.
Anyway, that's also there. But because, you know, like you said, people talk the office everywhere.
We're not talking the office.
Be it the MP, be it the LC.
When we come here, for me, I'm not talking the office. I'm talking about Uganda first.
Exactly.
Which is 2 things. Distribution of resources and decision making. And I am not into inconsequentials. Yes, inconsequentials don't work for me. I'm not a careerist. No, I'm self-made. I'm not a careerist. When I finished Makerere, basically I'm self-built. And I've always believed that I am not called to make money. No, I've always had that belief. I'm not called to make money. I always believe that money follows when we do things properly. If Kasuku, your camera is set right, your stage is set right, you've boosted your platforms, everything is okay, you'll get the viewership. Viewership will translate into finance. You reach out to people, you say, people, can you help me? Can you help me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will say no, some will laugh. 6 will say no, I need to help Kasuku.
Then you get rolling.
But I've done things what? But if they come to you, why bazirumye why ekitara kivavako ate sound wawala again, if you cannot get the basics right, I can't involve in this. Because people don't, by the way, most people don't give money to a vision. They give money to a person. Wemanya kuwagala Kasuku live. Si wasende Kasuku live.
Nziwa Kasuku. Gwe manyi.
Mumanyi muwulidde kyekirowoozo behind Kasuku live.
Oh, I get it. And that is where most of us have failed to capitalize. I've met so many people tell me, Kasuku chitokola kino.
Yes.
And someone is willing to talk to Kasuku.
Yes.
And listen.
Yes.
To an idea that he does not know.
Right.
Yet there's someone with a better idea. And say, naye Kasuku ono.
Nina omukyala ya mpagira kolumu some years back. Oyo omukyala namusinkana, someone introduced me to her. Akola business California. Nanyogera bingi njagala kola bwe njagala kusima bohos njagala mazi tugenda mu byalo bikibi. Oyo omukyala tayagala ne benjogera. I'm so happy to meet you, Pastor. I've been looking forward to meet you. Ze njogera no vision ne papula webiti na didn't take it because I know I'm going to someone who's rich. Now take it a proposal webiti. I'm really so happy. I've looked forward to meet you. How much money do you need? just all of a sudden I need about $1 million. Like, oh, okay. I'm so glad to see you. 3 days later, she sent a check in my mail. Tadda ngamutabuza nga nazikozesa ntya oba nakola ki ye just yali ayagala kulaba ani kyokka oba nti account omuntu akuwa $10,000 n'ayagala omulage receipt kulwaki wamusomera okuwolesebwa teyakwatagana ne kasuku.
Yeah. Well, I hope we can continue having this discussion.
Yes.
Even without this whole, you don't know what you don't want to call it, resource distribution and what. It's very insightful because then, like today I've picked something very important here. It's actually given me an idea that when eventually kicks off, I will invite you.
Thank you.
And tell you because I think we need to begin thinking of Uganda.
Yes, Uganda first. Yeah.
There is so much we can do as Uganda.
Unrealized potential.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think most of us are thinking about Kasuku.
Yes.
They're thinking about Henry.
Yes.
They're thinking about Ronnie.
Yes.
But we're not thinking collectively.
Right.
And that is where the problem is.
I think the onus is on us, the young people. I call myself young. Since now again, I knew.
Well, people won't believe it when they are seeing you have gray hair.
No, by the way, this is another issue. People think that someone agenda ku TV na mvuma kakati kugenda kwesimba ngokole enviri. You see, that's a misinformation. This is my natural hair. This hair came because of stress.
No.
Yes, I was in New York. Have you been to New York?
No.
Were you in New York or in Uganda twagala nnyo kusala enviri mu barber shops? So what you did? I went to the barber shop. I used to cut bald if you look at my old pictures. And it was $25. Lakini okuvala 3 times a week to keep my bald is $75. Sisi za Uganda. You are in 200 and something. Sina nyingiza. Ngamanyi? Sigena sala.
Kanzikuze.
Nezikula. Newe zakula buli ngagamba enviri zo nga nnungi. Enviri zo nga nnungi. Nga nkole ki? Kanzireke. Zino enviri sinkole. Zino enviri zava mu stress. Katunaddamu amaziga gange. Stress nerabika bulungi. Kato unavaho nanvuma. Oh, sino wabatu.
Well, and choyogera kituufu nnyo. You know, recently I had issues with my eyes. So the doctor told me you have to wear glasses even at night.
Yeah.
Those dark ones. Then I remembered some years ago nina bwe nali mbuuza ekikutwala okuyimba ng'oyambadde ebigalubindi kibeera ki. Kati omala kulinnya ku stage n'olaba ebitaala ebyenkuba gye bikubamu amaaso. N'otegeera omusajja mutuufu okwambala galubindi.
Naye kati gwe naalaba oyinza okumala gaasama.
Era naliko kubaasama kati kyamala kuntuukako neetegeera nti omuntu alina okukola ki?
Yes.
Because of the light. So I think we misjudge people. But yeah, thank you for the discussion.
Thank you very much, Kasuku.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And I hope we are going to be engaging more.
Absolutely.
I need to visit some of those one-on-ones you're going to have.
Yes, and also visit some of our projects. Our app, you have seen our app.
Yes,
where we digitalize all documents. We're having a big summit coming up. I think I'll invite you to do some. We're having guys coming from the tech world. Yeah, CS International. I'm the CEO for CS Uganda. So we're having all those are going to be here. And it's going to be something big. You're going to see it in the newspapers and on media.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get involved in this thing. Yeah.
Well, now we've started.
Thank you.
We're now not on the phone anymore.
Thank you very much.
We've put a face to the name.
Yes.
This side, my side.
Thank you very much.
So we can roll.
I'm humbled.
And we see how it happens.
Thank you.
All right. Tubadde ne Pastor Henry Byamukama.
Yes.
CEO, owner, BTM TV.
Yes.
What's the name of your church?
Breakthrough Life, Faith Life.
Faith Life.
Yes.
That is in...
we have branches. Our main branch is in Gaza. But we have 70 plus branches.
Across the world?
Across Uganda.
Across Uganda.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but we also We also work with other ministries outside Uganda that I work full time with. Yeah.
Okay. Ebintu bitubadde olunaku olwaleero.
Yes.
So until next time, mubeere bulungi, mweraba.
The views expressed on Kasuku Live do not reflect those of the host, producers, or management. They are solely of individuals providing them and do not represent or reflect the official policy or position of this YouTube channel.
Sizalisa mukazi kati ndi muto gwasasula ewange akyala abulula bababbi abakyala
werezo omuyomba enyembuto katonda yekyembuto genda wegiwaminge
yabaweereza buno bukeeke obutini
singa baaba omutwale bamusonseka mu kamwa bwonna n'abufulumiza mu nnyindo
kiki alina guno omuggo gwa musa wayitista premium detergent
waliwo wanagambye eboda y'akasajja kasendi kalimba bannange esendi bannange